So the news today is that WFAN just lost about 132 pounds, which is not a lot for a grown man, frankly, but it's what JJ After Dark weighs. And JJ joins us now just to find out what's going on with this. JJ, what's happening, buddy?
Craigie, always good hearing your voice. What's up, Evan? And come on, Craig, 132. What about like 157?
No shot.
Don't get me on a scale.
Is that what you're
There's
at?
no shot.
Well, how
157. Craig, whenever you want, I'll send you a picture of the scale.
how tall are you? You got to be over 6 foot, right?
I am 6'1".
6'1", 157. You make me feel.
That's correct.
Now I feel obese, Craig.
But he sounds proud of it.
Well, I mean, listen, it's better than being 357.
He's right.
That
Paul?
is true.
Would
I
you
mean,
rather?
what do you want me to do?
He's right.
Have
Would
a burger?
Would you rather
I
be
do.
obese?
Ask Gugauer. I eat like a king. Ask him. Ask him.
So where
Tommy,
does it all go? Is the question.
Does JJ eat like a king?
He eats like a total bird.
Like a bird, you
That's
said.
nonsense.
Yogurt for dinner.
Nonsense.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He's
eat
the
a
guy
burger.
who won't come to steak with me. He won't come to steak. He don't want to come to steak. I like yogurt. There's nothing wrong with yogurt.
Anyway,
I have
so
eggs every morning.
I read the story today that you've decided to completely throw your radio career right into the garbage and move,
Thanks.
and move out of radio and join the very popular Bill Simmons owned. Of course, he sold it for $200 million, so he doesn't give a rat's ass about your success. About joining the Ringer podcast, and they're very successful. And you've decided to leave radio, and I guess Entercom's been very good to you in that regard. That they're not giving you a hard time, they're letting you go, and you're going to start doing some podcasts for the Ringer. Is that right?
That is correct, Craigie. It's been a 9-year run here, which is hard to believe. Started when I was 23, worked my way up. I mean, you'd be here back when you were doing the morning show, and I was, cutting my teeth, working 1 day a week, 2 days a week. And now I think this is the next chapter for me in my career. I've had a great run at FAN. I'm proud of my success. I'm happy where I'm at, and I'm kind of excited to see where the next chapter takes me.
Do you wish you took the midday show, assuming it was actually offered to you? I wasn't around for all that, but I read the papers. Looking back, should you have said yes and stayed here or no?
No, I'm okay with it, the way everything worked out.
Look
I think
at you.
everything works out for a reason. I really do. I'm okay with it.
Besides, our relationship, what will you
What
miss
kind of
the
relationship
most?
do you guys have?
We're buddies.
By
We're
the way,
pals.
can I throw something in here?
Yeah.
Evan, how many times do I have to hear about this stinking strikeout? You would think that you struck out Pete Rose.
Dude.
You would think you struck out Aaron
What do you
Judge.
want me
Well,
to
you
tell
are
you?
related
Run it
to,
back. Run it
Carl
back. Craig, by the
Jastremski.
way, foul ball behind the plate.
Right.
Foul ball down the right field
Dude, I
line.
struck
and then
you out.
No, hey, hold on a second. Craig, 3-2.
Yes.
Do you take a walk in an exhibition game?
No, you
Or
swing
is
the
that
bat.
lame?
You swing the
You
bat.
swing the bat.
Have
And
to
I
swing
swung
the
the
bat.
bat. and I
Oh, my
missed.
God. So
I own that.
your excuse for striking out is, hey,
I
was
swung and
3-2.
missed. I own
I was going to swing at anything
Tip
close.
cat.
Now, do you remember
Tip
what
cat.
I signed a baseball for him after I struck him out? Do you remember what I wrote on that
Jesus.
baseball?
I think I took that baseball, by the way, and like Young Kimmed it and chucked
How
it like
dare
500
you.
feet.
Well, Craig, I
did.
signed it. I put the K in Jastremski.
This is like a life highlight for him, Craig.
It is sadly.
I mean, it's
it is.
crazy.
It's not a
crazy.
life
It is.
highlight.
I mean,
You know,
you
it's
think
gonna-
I'm good at baseball or something? Like it's like an accomplishment? I'm not very good.
See, and here's the
I'm
difference.
all right.
Here's the
I have
difference.
heart.
That story is going to go from I struck out the overnight guy at FAN to I struck out one of the Ringer's most popular podcast guys. Like the story's going to grow.
And JJ, it'll go
He's
from
hoping for that.
It'll go
so
from a
he's betting on my
7-pitch.
success then, Craig. Okay,
That's right,
good
and it'll
stuff.
go from a 7-pitch at bat to it was 3 pitches. It was strike 1, strike 2, see you later. It was quick.
Well, look, listen, you and I both went to Syracuse, and we had different paths, obviously, to getting to WFAN. But, we used to do that, the Phenom contest, which was kind of like an American Idol contest, to give guys like JJ, young up-and-coming guys who otherwise, to be fair, never would have sniffed WFAN at the time he got the opportunity. And you were the one guy, I think, out of all the contestants and the winners that actually successfully made a career out of it. So, we applaud you on that for sure.
I appreciate that, Craig. And listen, I'll never forget. I want to say I was a year or two into the business. You came in the studio. I think it was like 4:40 in the morning. I'm like, what is this guy doing coming into my studio? I was like, oh, geez. He's like, dude, you got to find your voice. He's like, whatever you do, you got to be you. Now, people know I'm wacky. I'm zany. I watch a ton of games. I'm going nuts. You guys listen to Odds on Sports. You know the deal there. But I think in many ways, I've tried to listen to what each individual, you, Evan, you give me the guy, Chernoff, hear what they have to say, and then try to like make the most of that, if you will. I'm not going to agree with everything you have to say. I'm not going to agree with everything Evan has to say. But I think like that has helped me kind of find my voice. I'm crazy. I'm zany. I'm a little out there. I've made a career for myself. They actually put my mug on television, which I'm kind of proud of.
Which is unbelievable, by the way.
I mean, if they could put me on TV, then they could put Evan on TV.
And it's the same
then
network,
so
it shows you what we're dealing with.
They don't care about
I
looks.
remember, I sat down with JJ twice because I always tried to, for whatever success I had, try to pay it forward, right? And I remember telling JJ two things. One, I said, figure out who you are on the air, and once you figure it out, be unwavering. That's who you are. Make no apologies for it. And you got to be consistent. It's the only way to build a career. And the second thing I'll never forget saying to him is, stop saying the National Football League. Nobody talks that way.
You hate but people do, I think.
Do you remember me saying that to you?
That was
No, you did say that.
Yep.
And I'll tell you another thing you said. I'll never forget. I took a call coming back from a break. You said, don't do that. It's lazy.
Right.
It is lazy. You know what? Anytime I hear it now, I say, holy blank, how did I come back and just go, 420, JJ on the fan, let's go to Mike in the Bronx. Talk for 3 or 4 minutes.
Yep.
Original content, baby.
I told him that.
National Football League really pissed you off?
It pissed me off because...
Why?
Not surprised by that.
Because when I'm talking with my buddies,
Right.
at no point does anyone say, hey, did you see what happened in the National Football League today?
Yeah, but normally you
it's
would
not
say
how people
like
talk.
Chiefs and Titans, or you'd say Jets and Dolphins. But would you say NFL?
You'd
would you
say NFL. Like if I was like, hey, did you see what happened with the NFL today? I wouldn't say, hey, in the National Football League. And I did tell him what he just said. Because I always thought I had a responsibility, as people helped me as I started in the business, to not be one of those guys that doesn't reach out to help. And I told him, every break you come out of, you better have something. And every break you go into, you better give me something other than your calls after the break. Now, people slip and do it from time to time. No one's 100%, but it's lazy. And I'm glad you took that to heed. Because now
you're not wrong on that.
Now no one will ever hear you, and you'll be able to do it all the time, which would be
we'll
great.
See about that. We'll see about that.
I'm just teasing.
We'll see about that.
Listen, when Russo went to satellite, we used to play the Springsteen song "Radio Nowhere."
That's like his theme
Right?
song now.
Yeah, now it's a theme
He
song.
embraced it.
And listen, you're going up. It's a very competitive world, the world of podcasts. I do have one personal question, and blow me off if you want. I don't mind if you do. I do worry about you from one standpoint, and it's the gambling. And having lived it, and I'm not your dad, I'm not here to pass judgment, and I hope you do it responsibly. But it is one of my concerns that, as a young guy, that you're being thrust into an environment where you're almost being forced to wager every day of the week on a myriad of sports that you would otherwise not wager on. And I recognize the sponsorship. I do. I'm respectful of it. It pays a lot of the bills around here. But my fear is that you get yourself in a spot where it does get out of control. And I'm not saying it is. I don't know you personally enough. But I would just say take heed of that because it can get serious. And you don't want to put yourself in that kind of spot. So I would tell you that.
Craigie, I appreciate that. And obviously, we've seen what you have been able to overcome over the last few years. And listen, I try to do it responsibly. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's something I enjoy doing, whether it's the games, whether it's, whatever. But yes, it's something that I've been aware of because I'm doing a gambling show 5 days a week for the last 4 months. I like betting on this stuff. But yeah, you have to be aware of your means. You have to be aware of what your threshold is. And when it gets to a point where it's too much for you, then there's a problem. But if you can do it and you can do it in moderation and have some fun doing it, everybody's going to be different, just like booze or whatever the vice may be, give or take.
Yeah, listen, 90% of people do it. It's no problem. So, and I'm not going to get on my soapbox. It was a problem for me, but it wasn't always a problem. It became a problem. And that's my mountain to climb. But, I recognize that gambling's such a big part of what we all do here now. And I've been blessed that Entercom allows me to not get involved with, sponsorships and reading stuff and all that. And I'm respectful that they also have a business to run. But I know you're going to do a gambling podcast as well for The Ringer. Just be careful about it and recognize, if you're betting on college women's volleyball, you got a problem.
I think that's fair. You don't have to worry about that. I can assure you
All right.
there has never been a women's volleyball bet placed.
Uh,
Or no Korean baseball for that matter.
Listen,
so.
I've wagered on Mexican dogs. I've wagered on overseas tennis events that I couldn't name the country that they were in. And there comes a point when, because the access, because these phones is so accessible, where you're in a bad spot, you're awake, you're drinking, whatever the case may be, and all of a sudden, the third race in Tijuana seems like something you should put $100 on, and that's a problem. So I'm just saying, be careful about that as you move forward in life and your career. It is okay on a random Wednesday to tell your audience, I got nothing today. There's nothing.
Well, I'll own that too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed that. I'll say, listen, these are leans. I'm not playing these games. I like to pay it forward. I don't want to be a used car salesman with these picks. If I'm not playing it, I'm not going to play it. I kind of tell it like it is.
Anyhow, good luck to you. Again, I do hope
you
you're
too,
successful.
guys. Congratulations. Happy for your success.
We'll see how it goes. I don't know who's replacing JJ. When's your last day here? Any idea?
Next Friday.
Next Friday,
and then we hit the ground running the following Monday.
Great. Well, good luck to you. I think you made a great career for yourself at FAN, and we do wish you the best. And I want to give Entercom credit because, listen, in this business, not a lot of companies just say, hey, it's good for you, so we're going to let you do it. So I think they deserve credit for that as well. And I hope you remember that. And we'll hear you down the road, but good luck to you.
I appreciate that, Craigie and Evan. And that's well said. I got to say, everybody fan was great. Mark Chernoff, Chris Olivero, last 9 years. Can't thank them enough. And, fellas, thanks for having me on the show. Appreciate it.
Best of luck, man.
JJ, John Jastremski, of course, he comes on after us most nights, at least for the next 2 weeks. And there you go. That's how it goes.
The other thing that's weird is usually in radio, you don't even get a last show. You don't even get a chance
never give
to
you
do
a last show.
A week plus out. That's what's so unusual.
It's always after show they go, look, that was your last show.
Right.
We're going to pay you for tomorrow, but you ain't doing the show tomorrow.
So here's the question.
Yeah.
Who will eventually replace JJ? Do you have a
I
prediction?
think Moose is trying to.
So Moose is going to do both?
I don't know.
He's going to do middays, and then he's going to come back and do 4
Every
more
show
hours?
that opens up, I hear Moose's name.
He may try to
But
get both.
I'm going to vote for our guy. Hopefully Big Mac gets a shot at it. Or they bring somebody new in. New blood's always a good thing, too. So we'll see how it goes, all right? But I'm going to, at least, if he wants to do it, and he's not asked us yet, if it's something he wants to do, we'll at least say to the Mark and to Chris, hey, give our guy a shot.
Who do you think should replace C-Mac if he gets the gig? Have you thought about that?
Yeah, Al Dukes.
Al Dukes is going to do both, or he's going to leave
What's
the
Al
morning
Dukes
show?
doing right now? Nothing.
That's a good point.
What would I do? If Al comes in, what do I do?
You'd move over and start pushing the buttons.
Oh, demotion. Sounds like a demotion to me.
Your calls coming up. Plus,
C-Mac, Loogie thinks he's bigger than you. He thinks he has a more important job
I
than
know.
you.
That was very clever of you. You picked up on that. I don't think
that was
most
the
people.
first thing I
don't
picked
think
up
most
on.
people would have noticed that, but you're absolutely right.
I'm the producer,
That's
you're the
exactly
associate
what he
producer.
said.
First thing out
He
of
said,
Loogie's
if I did
mouth.
McMonagle's job, it would be a
I'm
demotion.
getting demoted
Yep.
was his
That
response.
But
is
you would
exactly
be getting
what
promoted. So what do you care?
Correct.